Good evening. Hi. So it's 7:30 and I have everything in line and we have a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. And for all of the new people in the room, even though we've sort of made introductions, I think we should all go around and at least say our name. Do you want to say how long you've been with the committee? Or what your goal is? Yes. So I'm Heather Crawford and I am the chair and I've been on the commission for 20 years now. Okay, since it started. Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Caroline. I'm the new summer intern and this is my first meeting. I'm really excited to get to know everyone and to help out.
Richard Talentino, 20 minutes.
Have you actually been be sworn in with town clerk?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Well, you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the it was in the letter that they sent you. So yeah, so you'll have to come down, talk to the town clerk.
Okay.
And they will make you put your hand up and actually swear to obey the Constitution and then sign into an official book.
You have a constitution in this country?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only you have to swear to it.
Okay, well, I haven't done that yet. I will.
Okay, so that means we still have a quorum, but that means you can't officially vote tonight.
Okay,
But
that's okay.
I do want to say, welcome to the commission.
Thank you. Wow.
We had those made last year for the 4th of July parade, so
Very nice.
what goes on this year.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're lucky, you got the last one.
Well, that someone gave me the last name Valentino, so I was kind of psyched. I mean, it's easier to spell. It's Valentino.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. It's happened numerous times, so we'll take it as a compliment. Thank you.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Al Goldberg. You've been here 20 minutes. I think I last attended a Conservation Commission meeting 20 years ago.
no comments.
Yeah.
I know, you've been here since then.
Oh, okay. I am here tonight as a liaison from the Board of Selectmen to provide some facilitation to help better coordinate various elements of town government to make sure that the Conservation Commission is correctly interfaced with the other 30 boards and commissions which compose our government. A town meeting form of government is a wonderful structure. It's very democratic, but it tends to operate in silos, with boards and commissions not having obvious bridges to connect with each other. And so it's the job of the selectmen through liaisonships to try to help bridge some of those silos. I am not here to tell you how to vote. I'm not here to tell you what you should be debating. I'm here to help facilitate what you decide, what information gets to you, and how the deliberations of this body can better be integrated with other elements of town government.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few items on the agenda where that will definitely be
Alrighty,
a good thing. So.
thank you.
I'm Terry, I've been with the commission a year and a half. And also on the tree committee, the advisory committee, which now is also the liaison. Double coverage there.
Yes.
All right. Welcome, Richard, and nice to see you out. Welcome to our being liaison. I'm Sophia Budin. I've lived in Madison now 18 years. I teach at Connecticut College, and I'm in the Ethro department, so this seemed like the right kind of fit for me because of my interest in environmental issues. And I've been on the commission 6 years, I think.
And I'm Amy Thomas. I'm newly vice chair. Dabbled on the commission for several years. I've only been a member since last year. I've been a resident for 5.5 years and just share passion about our natural resources and environmental issues.
It was very active efforts prior to the tree advisory committee.
All right, so we have welcomed Richard, so that was the next thing on the agenda. We're good.
Very
Um,
happy.
Yes, do you have any wish to tell us what can we do to us? Or are you just doing, we're glad you're here, but.
Basically at a high level, the viewpoint of a lot of people in this country like to complain, but they don't come up with solutions. They don't get involved. I'm not one of those people. Both my wife and I, we've always been involved in every community we've lived in. And so the timing is right. And to Al's point, what attracted us to Madison is beauty. How you maintain that. Don't take it for granted. And I think one way is to make sure you get involved. So that's what drove me. Well, I'm also persistent because it was 7 months process. But it's worth it, right? That's when all said and done. But no, sincerely, I give you all credit. It takes, it's a, what did you say, Wednesday? Yeah. Losing track of my days. Wednesday evening, most people just want to be home chilling, or a day like today, down to the beach or whatever. But it's important to get involved so you can have some kind of impact. So,
How long have you lived in Madison?
7 years this summer. Yeah. Hard to believe. Pardon?
Where did you move from?
We moved from Massachusetts. We were in Shrewsbury, which is central Mass. Next to Worcester. That's how you pronounce it.
Right, yes, that's.
I
Worcester.
used to live in Worcester.
You lived in Worcester. Okay, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Not Worcester. But anyway, but I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay.
And then I didn't even realize some of the guys I grew up with were in Madison for a number of years. And it wasn't until I moved here and I walked into Donahue's and it was like, there they were.
I grew up in New Canaan, so I
Oh, okay.
experienced the same thing.
So you're doing Lori's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, New Canaan we were talking about, New Canaan is a beautiful area. It still is. So, but we really like Madison a lot. And as I said, it's important to get involved so you can help out.
Okay, that is wonderful. Right, so the next thing on the agenda is to approve the recently distributed minutes from March and April. Anybody said which were sent out at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I hope people
Apologies.
check their emails. I'm just grateful that you got them done before the meeting, and I totally understand that. So I'm just going to look quickly through. So.
I'm a little exhausted, so you might find typos because I'm removing them.
Sorry. Oh, there is one. I would, Erin, under the call modification, Erin is not in the finance office. She's in the land use office.
Right.
Um,
For the
if you just say, I spoke with Erin Mannix because.
for
Yeah, so it's
which meeting?
number three, the,
March meeting?
April meeting, I'm
Okay.
saying. Work backwards.
Quick question about promotion and visibility. Said, I will manage updates on the town website. I was gonna do that on the Facebook page, but we're not supposed to have that.
Right.
And I don't
Right,
even
we were
know-
talking about that
Yeah.
at the meeting, that we can't just.
I know, and I don't even know what we have on the town website yet, if anything, but I know that Al, Gross is working on that with the tree committee. And he's working with,
Madison, yes.
so we have to find out, what do we want to put up?
Right, so, but right now, what we need to correct is, that it's, the web's gonna have to be correct on the website. Rather than. So, Yes. So, for April, does anybody have any other amendments to or corrections? If not, I will take motion to approve the April minutes as amended.
Say.
Okay, Amy has moved, Terry has seconded, all in favor? Aye. Okay, that passes unanimously, and then March. Um, I do not have anything attached to my March.
Yeah, March is.
Oh, it's a different email.
It's a different, and there's nothing attached to it.
Well, I did then. So,
I saw two emails, but I saw one with them.
Okay. I'm going to send it now and we'll leave that for
Okay,
next.
well, yeah, well, and, or we can leave it till later in the meeting. We can table that until later in the
Okay.
meeting. Okay, so this is where I call for any additions or changes to the agenda in case somebody has come up with something that I forgot to put on here. Not hearing anything, we can move on to our debrief of April the 25th. Which I thought went really well in spite of the weather. In the at the North Madison site, we had, I think, 8 people end up coming by, 4 of whom were picking up trash and 4 of whom were donating large amounts of cloth material. So, and how was the downtown booth?
It was good. From what I understood, a lot of familiar faces.
Mm.
You know, it seems like the same group, like individuals and groups participate every year, but they're loyalists. They come, they came, they cleaned, they I think the textile recycling is a really good addition. A lot of, a lot of people were very interested in it, and I think next year, need to publicize. Yes,
Yeah.
publicize it earlier.
Yeah.
Um,
There are people like myself that contacted Amy just this week because I told her I have 8 pillows to get rid of. Now, if it happened prior to April 25th.
yeah. Yeah.
Believe you can do fabric recycling at the Guilford Transfer Center as well.
Yeah.
Yes. But the issue is getting people to drive down there.
So that's, yeah, go there.
So, but yeah, and how was Borough Park?
It was good. We set up the table and we had 2 banners that you could see from the front. The one when it's on the ground, it's in the sound, and the rodenticides one. And people came there obviously to pick up their trees, but when they saw the banners, then some of them stopped, especially with the pesticides, herbicides, because that was their focus, was to be putting things on or in the ground. So so we talked to a few folks.
Great.
We had our table next to Master Gardener's table, so it was a good fit.
Okay. But I liked the synergy that looked to be shaping up, and I think that we do need to figure out, because I would say for the people that showed up at North Madison to pick up trash, I would say it was exactly the same thing. It was the same 3 people plus 1 that I am used to seeing year after year after year. So we need to figure out how to expand the reach, get more people out. Weather. Yeah. The weather didn't help, I would imagine, but
One thing maybe we could contact the high school to see if any other teams want to join in this effort
It was a team effort.
as a team effort, because all these high school students need volunteer hours.
That are about to graduate and they need like 20 more hours at each day. So I could definitely reach out to my other process.
if they wanted to come down and Madison pick up on that, just
I mean, they're like desperate for hours right now, so it's before like mid-June. They definitely want to do it.
maybe we can arrange something. Maybe we can see if any of the other teams need that, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for volunteering that, then hopefully we could get permission to, since we're not gonna have extra dumpster somewhere like we did for the 25th, but that we could use a town dumpster somewhere. And,
If we put them into working some of the town parks or something like that. too.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't even need a dumpster. I mean, truthfully,
Is it that much?
yeah, I mean, there's like, it's annoying that there's garbage everywhere, but it's not, you know, I feel like it could be bags
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
dumpsters.
See, when the land trust gets deep into some of their properties and they come out with car batteries, yeah, then we want the dumpster for most of the
But-
roadside stuff.
Yeah, so what we have to think about is if we want to do an additional cleanup,
Mhm.
then where will the garbage go? Who will we ask to do that? Do we have to go to the beach and rec? With all that, so, or do we want to table this till next year's cleanup?
Yeah,
I wonder if we do something in the fall.
yeah, but which won't help your lacrosse team, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
there is International Coast Week where they do beach sweeps, which could be easily expanded.
Mhm.
When is that?
It's usually it's a 3-week period in September. So, and as part of it, we, Save the Sound often sponsors cleanups all along the shoreline, and there's always one at the surf club in Madison, but it could be definitely expanded up into the watershed.
What is
From
it
town.
called?
It's the International Coastal Cleanup. Also known as the beach sweep, the Great Beach Sweep. And they have been collecting data for 30 years at least. You can actually watch like the decrease in smoking.
When did that happen?
There's a 3-week period in September.
Parker, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You have to fill out,
catalog.
you catalog everything that gets picked up. So it's an educational, and data collection opportunity as well as a.
We should do.
We can piggyback off it too.
Yeah.
That too. You can have the people who are actually on the beach, but we could do.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to push inward because when Parker and I did it, it was, I mean, the good thing is there wasn't a lot of trash. You know, like there's stuff to pick up, but it's not overwhelming. So
I don't know if the reach would extend into state park, but I don't know if you saw those pictures, some of you don't do.
No, I don't.
Oh, about the fight and what? Oh, but the,
It looked like a dump truck just dumped trash all.
after skip day.
It was, yeah.
Senior skip day.
Yeah,
I think
there
I
were.
heard.
Yes, there were
So
some.
Daniel Hankins.
No, not just staying in hand. That was
It's like all the kids go.
Yeah, all the
same
kids.
thing surrounding.
Yeah, and there was trash everywhere and there were massive fights. Yeah, there were, there were apparently police from several communities.
That probably
They should
is
go
cleaned up by now. I can't find the pictures at the
Yeah.
moment, but I don't know if, when we do this next in Madison, if that would extend to.
They do have they do the coastal cleanup in Hammonasset, and they did actually have a beach swoop there the weekend before. Which one? So the 18th. But yes, it's something we could definitely. As people.
I think right after the holidays, like Fourth of July, Labor Day, that's when we're gonna see stuff.
Mhm.
But invasives is another area
Mm.
to talk about.
We can talk about- Absolutely, yes. So suggestions for 27? 2027, for upping this, I think, we need to start, publicizing earlier.
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe new channels.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because downtown they get like the Democratic Town Committee and the Republican Town Committee, and there, so,
Did we make use of the town's new, Maddie?
Madison, yes,
Yeah.
it was on the webpage and Peggy had it.
Channel.
And Peggy had it in thing, but basically like the week before, so I'm thinking we need to
Start soon.
start sooner, build momentum.
Are the scouts still a thing in town?
I know that there's a kindergarten Girl Scout troop. I'm there, not sure how where I would want them picking up trash. And I do know that I know someone who's graduating, who just finished his Eagle project. Yeah, spent it's all work on the whole airstrip history. So there are, yeah, so there are still scouts around. I do not know that they have participated as a group in this in a while, so that would be worth hitting them up. I think that the idea of getting in touch with the director of athletics and encouraging teams to take on a section, either each take on a section of town would be. We might actually get the competition part working that way, because this year we did work with Austin and had a competition where people could send in pictures of the weirdest thing they picked up, or the pile of trash that they picked up, so they could see it on the block. We could try and give out a prize. And I haven't heard from him what the results were, but if we could actually had a bunch of teenage teens working, they might actually get something that way. What are some other organizations in town that the Land Trust in the past has had groups that got out, and I did not see them this year. Or if they came to downtown rather than to North Madison to sign in.
Would like to propose that where we have tables on the cleanup day, that we also have pamphlets with pushing, maybe even kind of show and tell, some of the main things that we're trying to focus on, like lights out,
Yeah.
That's like
there.
what we do.
Right.
And then show alternatives,
Right.
alternatives to pesticide, alternatives to herbicides, alternatives to rodenticides.
Mhm.
And for every event that we are at, to have that information provided.
So above and beyond the bookmarks
Yes.
as well. Because we have the
Or get more,
or get more bookmarks.
yeah,
Yeah.
or more detail.
Well, because
Bookmarks are great. I love them.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Use more different ones to
Yeah.
make them available.
opportunities for
Yeah.
education for on.
I don't want to lose the land trust. A simple email to the president of the land
Yeah.
trust. It's currently Ian Taylor.
Right.
You know, this is all that's needed. 3 or
Right.
4 months ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead then.
I emailed.
Okay. So any other groups?
I don't know about groups, but I think we can build on it every year, so I love having more education, but I thought it'd be great too to have like live music or something that like attracts people and something, what's happening, like make it more of an event.
And instead of it not being just Earth being more of an Earth Day and an Earth Week, no matter what Earth Day falls.
Okay. So that, yeah, so I like, and we've been tossing that idea around a little bit. Austin was leaning towards that when he was talking about how they were going to be on the green rather than in front of Memorial Town Hall. This year, he was thinking we might have some more of that sort of thing. So I think if we start working now, a year in advance, to do some planning for that, we could have that more of a.
Yeah.
I think we need a couple bigger signs too for Conservation Commission.
Okay, you don't like her 2 foot by 3 foot?
I love it. Just for those of us who can't see far away, like me.
Yeah, those are probably 19 years old at this point, so yeah, there could be a couple more updated, or maybe with brighter colors at this point.
Yeah.
It's no longer, we don't know, I think we're no longer limited to a one color banner.
Can we work with the local businesses, or is that not allowed?
We can work with the local businesses, we can reach out, absolutely.
Because the group I'm really thinking about is retirees.
Oh. No, yeah, so we should have something for the senior center.
That's not a knock on younger generation, but that generation tends to have been more involved.
Mhm.
And now they have time to.
That is true. Yeah, sticking a note that we need to kind of talk to Austin about getting maybe even a presentation in February or so at the senior center.
Yeah. But the original one with the students, that you were saying, students, whether they want to or not, it looks good on a resume. We used to have every year in Worcester, we used to have the rebuild weekend. And you had a bunch of young people show up. And it was good. And you're not kidding yourself, probably primary driver was to make sure they got something on their resume. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
We had a
But
bunch of people show up.
And sometimes those are the things that become an interest.
Yeah.
That they continue to pursue later on, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of it. I don't know where you're advertising. Maybe I was just moved. I don't.
Yeah, it was in the source in the calendar. It was on the town website. It was on the first selectmen's weekly blast thing. It was on the Facebook page.
Have we ever taken it down in the source or never have money for that? They're not going to put an article, we've asked for that. I mean,
Yeah.
not
We
everyone
we
reads
tried to
what's
have
going on
letters
on the
to
weekends.
editor. They did, no.
So for the sake of stunning everyone, I don't do Facebook or any
Yeah.
social media.
Neither do I. So
Okay.
yeah. I get the first selectman's voicemail and email.
I get the Madison magazine. Is that what you're referring to? No.
No,
What's
the
this?
source of the newspaper,
The
free
weekly
paper that
Oh, really?
every
Okay.
Thursday. It should arrive at your house or maybe
If it's
Friday.
not, if it is, it's never gotten into our house. So I don't know.
I feel like both the Source and Shoreline Times are very random. They're both free, but how you get it delivered is a mystery.
But the magazine, we
The
definitely get.
magazine is a good idea. It's what, 4 times a
Yeah,
year?
it's quarterly. So if we could,
Let's make sure I'm talking about the same one. It always shows a picture of some family on the cover.
That's Madison Neighbors.
Okay.
That's a private media company. But then the town has a quarterly, it's a similar look and feel, but no family on the cover.
it's usually a pretty picture of Madison on the front.
I swear, I don't think we're getting either of those.
Oh, you should be.
Well, I asked where you live, but we're
Yeah, I was
recording,
gonna say,
so.
We have 2 dogs. Maybe they're picking it up.
Oh, yeah.
I will send you contacts to at least get you on the source.
Well, let's take it one step
Yeah.
further about having an article written in advance by the source.
Well, we've tried that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should try that again. We have a new reporter,
Okay,
and he's very eager for stories.
okay,
His name is Aaron Rubin.
okay, it is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's always looking for stories.
Okay.
Just a feel good story.
Yeah,
And I think being in touch with him now about either running an after the fact article about this year or before the fact article next spring
okay, yeah,
would be a good idea. And Maddie can help coordinate that. Maddie can even create most of the copy, which Aaron Rubin really likes.
Now,
yeah. They do.
Maddie
We have a
is.
couple of writers, Madison Stout, she's the webmaster.
Okay.
Amy, you had contacted Aaron, hadn't you?
I had contacted him like 2 years ago, maybe for the food scrap program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, well, maybe we
This
can
year?
set up this year, I don't recall that we contacted him directly, we submitted things directly to the newspaper as for letters to the editor and editorial options, and they were like, oh, well, we'll certainly try to run something like this. There never was. But
I think this time frame too is difficult because we're competing with articles about the budget and the budget process.
April, yes. Well,
I think it's gonna make the headlines before we move.
I think that we should probably, within the next month or so, put together, and we're gonna keep circling it back to these things. We put together a list of potential articles that we would want to get in and hit him up with this and say, look, here, we can give you, 12 articles in the next 12 months, if you actually promise that you'll run them. And I know that in the past that sometimes has been difficult because it gets bumped for the latest disaster or whatever, yeah.
And an article is so much more useful because you're not restricted to the 300
Yes.
words, which you can't really get much out there in 300 words. You're talking fast.
No.
Yeah.
So
How about the Vista group?
we have not contacted them. That would be a really good thing.
It'd be good for the people there too.
Yes, it would. Let's go, Vista.
Yes. Yeah.
Vista, we should
I
contact.
mean,
them.
I volunteer here, so I can quote it by them, so
Yeah.
I think.
It-
But
that
I mean,
would be
it really is good for the people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that would be wonderful. If you'd like to float that, that would be a great thing. And if we're, because as we're talking about these groups, we can do a dry run for,
For
April with the cleanup in
Yeah.
September. See how many more groups we can draw out of the woodworks at that point and then have them on our list and really hit them in April. Before April. You're right. Hit them by March.
okay. Could we I brought up this idea.
Oh.
I haven't seen the minutes yet. So, you know those signs that we put in
Lawn,
front?
yes. Yeah, the lawn sign.
And I was wondering, could we get some lawn signs that we can reuse, right? Like, paste something onto it, take it off, paste a new sign on it, or just a few days, sometimes different places around town to let people know things that are happening. Because we don't have one central place to get all of that information out, right?
Who doesn't someone have kind of like a sandwich board type thing that sometimes appears?
That's right.
Yeah, I know,
by Memorial to-
like,
Yeah, we have.
you
the
get,
town
you
has.
get building, you get a permit for those through the zoning enforcement officer. I think that, I don't know, I know the church has a sandwich board that we use for, the harvest dinner and the craft fair and things like that, then we get the permit to put it downtown or wherever. You also are technically
You're
supposed to get,
limited. Yeah.
you also have to get a permit and the signs can't stay out for more than, I think it's 20 days, but that would work if we were just doing a push beforehand but you get a permit to put them on town properties.
And
Just
that,
When,
we're,
because when we first did the no idling
yeah,
program, we had the interns went out and they were,
we were
putting,
moving
yeah,
on.
we were moving around. They were at West Wharf, they were at East Wharf, they were at, the surf club, they were at a few of the other parks. We got permits to put them in a whole bunch of different places.
The red light.
No, that doesn't work. Those are less than 3 minutes.
Yes.
It's just you can't idle for more than 3 minutes. We tried to get permission to put them at the schools and they were like, we have our own signs.
No, they said, well, what happened was they didn't have signs at that time. And so I went to the superintendent and they said they would discuss it, and then they did put up their own signs.
Yeah.
So I was very happy.
I like the lawn sign idea.
Yeah,
If you
something.
could spread it across. I mean, Madison is
Well,
that-
big town.
really hard to, yeah,
Yeah.
gotta reach people coming on and off the highway, up North Madison Circle, down.
And in the summer, if we're having an event at the beaches, the
Well,
green.
You're right, depending on the messaging, we can use the large electronic signs.
Nope.
I guess depending on the importance of the messaging,
Mhm.
but we now deploy those in several places in town.
Right,
And I think once again, we can work with Maddie on figuring out the level of importance of whatever it is we're trying to communicate. But that is an option. And a lot of people see those signs, you almost can't avoid them.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're a distraction.
I mean, we use them for voting.
That's
Right,
all I've
right.
seen.
Yeah. For voting, I've seen them for when like there were road emergencies, one got dragged out. But.
But I think for an upcoming event, would not be an appropriate thing it has to meet some test.
Yeah.
She's trying to work through, but well, it has to have a level of importance to it. But I would think some of these things will meet that test. So
Okay. I like that as an idea.
Yeah.
Good. Hello, John.
Hi.
Hello. John,
Good to see
here
you.
you go.
Walking and I got a cookie? Oh, even better. All right. Keep going.
Okay. So we were just debriefing from April 25th. It's turned into a long debrief.
About ideas
Getting
for
around
next
to
year.
ideas for trying to
Improve.
Good job.
Yes, thank you.
Caroline is one of our two interns for the summer. Correct. So we've got some ideas for publicity. We've got some ideas for getting some new materials together. Terry, if you want to put together a list of things that you think would be important for us to add to our bookmark collection, for example.
Open for, there's ideas.
Okay. And I look the lawn sign and and for ideas for what we could put on lawn signs. Because I still have some of the no idling ones.
Because we could have, we can do things like make most of it the generic cleanup, and then a sticker or something that we can take off the date.
Yep.
So that we can reuse those signs.
Yeah. White painter state. And actually just repurposed one of the no mow signs for a friend,
I still
which
use
says, it's just, so it now says, these aren't weeds, we're feeding, there's a, I'm doing, and no, it says I'm doing at the top, and instead of no, I covered up no mow, and it's like something good for the planet. And then these aren't weeds, we're feeding the bees. So, because I have a friend that wanted to put it in her yard. So we can do, I think that's a good idea that, and I will say, because funding will be an issue, that this would be a potential for something like a sustainable CT matching grant.
Yep.
Opportunity.
Did find out if we could, get money toward lawn signs.
Right, yes, yeah, the
And it's
first,
not that much, so.
yeah. Would be reasonable.
And we'll just sit down, we could sit down one day and figure out, okay, what do we want signs to do? What are the different big things? So we can,
Right,
yeah.
so.
So what is the biggest event? You say for this group, is it the cleanup?
Well, not so much events as themes.
Yeah.
What we're trying to.
Yeah, so. In the past,
Bower
right after
Park
it's
in the
been the
fall.
first one and the Bower Park Festival, we are actively involved in outreach at that. And so those are our two big sort of people out places things, but then we try and do education about, like not using, reducing your uses of herbicides and pesticides and fertilizers to protect the soil. Long Island Sound, we do some programming about that. We do a lot of programming, outreach about invasive plants. Just because I have a background in that. Poisons. With poisons, with rodenticides,
They kill life.
we've also talked in the past about, doing a fall education about like not blowing and bagging your leaves. And because people driving around town and watching them blow leaves into each other's yards is sort of very frustrating.
And boy, is those fights interesting.
And there's actually a whole new set of interesting information out there about the electric yard equipment. Apparently, Virginia has just passed an ordinance that is going to push all commercial lawn care companies over a period of years to transfer to battery operated.
Yeah, Greenwich is already.
And they're already going to do that.
I thought they do it. Pretty sure it's part of the year. Like leaf blowers, I'm pretty sure they allow them to work seed size.
Greenwich is gonna be all bad.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw a sign recently that said they're allowed between this month and this month. So
Maybe, yeah, maybe it's just Based, yeah.
But anyway, I'm on a list serve that's distributed, had a state law attempting to get passed. And I have seen some of the local stuff. We start with an educational campaign. The Sierra Club did a presentation at the library on it. And they just sent out a great publicity thing. It's like the perfect Father's Day gift. Get your dad away from having to yank on the gas cord, the power cord, and you having to play with gasoline and oil, and just get him a nice battery powered trimmer or weed whacker and upgrade him that way.
Newtown was the first town in the state to ban rodenticides for use on town property. Which is great. Of course, can't control what commercial operators do. They're gonna have bait boxes that, but it'd be great to do that, but
So
be number 2.
so that's all. Everybody's gonna think about this, and we're going to have this discussion at next month's meeting and potentially with the interns. Or what they want to do for education. I think we've just taken a whole bunch of number 11. Okay, so the update on the Natural Resource Inventory RFQ. I was supposed to get wording from the Tree Advisory Committee. I don't know that I ever actually got it. Was Al supposed to send it? Al Gross supposed to send it to me, or
On the definition.
on the definition of,
I, last meeting, maybe Al can fill us in on that. Last meeting, I was in the ER tree committee, so I couldn't attend that one, but that's where we're gonna finalize definition.
I'm not sure exactly where this is at. The tree advisory committee, charge given to them by the board of selectmen, was to create an inventory of, I'm going to use the word special trees, because every other adjective we use has some rigid definition to it, which starts a whole other conversation. So the tree advisory committee was thinking that before going to the selectmen and asking for money, do a study of special trees in town identified, that would it make any sense to piggyback that on the study that this committee is doing? And so, once again, now this is one of the bridges between the two silos. And so, obviously, I don't know enough about the technical aspects of your study and whether it would even make sense to piggyback this tree inventory on top of what you're doing.
It does.
So that's the issue. And the tree advisory committee wanted to bring it to you to see if we can work together on the study.
right.
If there's an incremental cost to piggybacking, then I think selectmen should be asked to provide incremental cost difference.
Right, so at the moment, as of last month, our plan was to have the tree advisory review give us a definition of what they were looking for. For that
And then
section.
come up with one.
And they did come up with one, okay, I don't think I ever got it. I got told it got done, but I don't think I ever got it, but we were gonna put that in, and then we were going to send out a request for qualifications so that we could get ideas of how much that sort of thing would cost to add on. And then we're going to come to the board of selectmen and say, "This is how much money we want."
Right.
Or,
And
and
has to have now is some information,
yes, so we just need to get that information.
definitional information.
Yes,
to get.
gets to
And
me, and then I will give it to Erin, and then we will send out the RFQ.
We worked on that definition in the April meeting, but the May meeting, which was last Wednesday, which we're gonna go to.
Yeah.
That was when we were gonna fine tune the definition of notable tree. I haven't seen the minutes from that, so, but
Okay.
we can get that from Brandon.
Okay. Yeah, so if I can get that in the next,
Fred.
yeah, so if I can get that, in the next day or two, I can give it to Erin, and, like by Monday, we can shoot something out the door.
Jerry, you're gonna follow up on that? Sure. Okay, I don't wanna.
That's the only thing we're really waiting on for that. Just, we wanted to make sure that we had that enough information about what we wanted for tree data, before we put it out. Yeah. So, and then hopefully we'll get that RFQ out the door. Usually the responses are supposed to come in within 30 days, and then we'll know what ballpark we're looking at. And then we will be making a presentation to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance to hopefully get money out of the planning fund by July.
Right.
So yeah, if we can get it out, this month, we have the chance of actually getting through the process before the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next thing I had on the agenda was the very interesting result of the AI query that you made.
Yeah.
So what, after our last meeting, John went back and asked Claude, is it Claude?
I can't remember if it was Claude or Chat, but it was one of them.
Anyway, he input the draft, planning and zoning reg update and asked it what it thought we might want to look at in terms of environmental updates. And it's a fascinating
Yeah.
document, yes. So it, for example, it looked at, our coast, and he sent it to everybody, yeah, on April 27th. Okay, it said that our coastal and wetlands protection was likely too thin because we only had the 50 foot setback. And that most towns are pushing for 50 to 75 foot buffers and tiered buffers. No clear inland wetlands integration. No mention of sea level rise or managed retreat. Stormwater and management was likely outdated. Tree and vegetation protection was missing or weak. No strong tree preservation standards, no canopy replacement requirements, no clearing limits outside of wetlands. This is a major gap. Coverage and impervious surface not explicitly managed. Habitat and biodiversity not addressed. Heat island and sustainability missing. Hopefully that's coming out of the community resilience update. Steep slopes defined but not regulated. Soil erosion controls good but could be stronger. Driveways and access are missing an environmental angle. And
That's like a list of.
then strategic recommendations on what to emphasize. If you want to be effective and not ignored, focus on strengthened buffers, modernizing stormwater standards, adding tree and vegetation protections, capping impervious coverage, and inserting environmental criteria into site plan review.
So I have two big thoughts.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful list.
Yeah.
Especially right at the end there. That's my first point. I think philosophically, before you get lost in details of regulations, it would be very helpful for this committee. I know you've heard this before, to state a philosophy of what is in general missing from our land use policies, from the regulatory apparatus we use. In the most general sense, what is missing? And I think that's one starting place. Obviously, that contains a lot of the detail, but from a philosophical standpoint, what does this town need to do to maintain its character, to maintain the charge that was given to you by the Board of Selectmen? I think a few general statements from this committee would be very helpful. I really pushed the tree advisory committee and they finally got there. And then they went to the next level. And my second so the first big thought is, what's your philosophical foundation that this group of people can articulate that belongs as part of our land use policies? Second big thought is to take a list like that, around which there is some consensus, and to sit down with the chair of P&Z in private and say, these are the kind of things we're thinking about. Do you want some more detail from us as to what this means? The tree advisory committee has just done that, and now I think it would be a good idea for you to do it.
Absolutely.
Let me just remind you, committee members, the P&Z spending, I think, a 12-month process
Right.
with an outside consultant looking at all of our P and Z regulations, trying to learn from other towns about what they've come up with as well as to identify the shortcomings of what's missing from our current regulations. And a simple example, which the Tree Advisory Committee certainly mentioned many times, is the clear cutting that went on right down the block. Planning and zoning apparently didn't have the tools or the know-how of the process to regulate that. So that was something the Tree Advisory Committee identified as something that is missing entirely. And therefore, one of their recommendations is to develop some regulatory language around that. I'm not expert on what this committee has been talking about over time, but laying the philosophical foundation and then identifying specific language should be covered. And the last 6 points put together, I think, sounded like a marvelous summary without getting lost in writing the regulation.
Oh,
P and Z has a consultant to write the regulation or to borrow it from another town. So I would hate to see this committee spend hours arguing with each other.
no, we have absolutely, I think I speak for the commission when I say we have absolutely no desire to write regulations, but what I was about to say was indeed, I was planning to forward this with the permission of the commission to Carol Snow and say, hi.
But I can sit down with her in person.
Yes. Yeah, but I do want to say I will again.
But I think your point is a good point too, about high level, right? High level strategic view about, focusing on sustainability, right? Right, environmental protection. But to think about it, what's the purpose? Aside from general, main thing on how strong all of this feel about sustainability, environmental protection, et cetera. But it's also what does that mean for people the town lies for, right? So I think laying that out, I think, at a high level is helpful. And then underneath that, there's a variety of things. Look at what you focus on, there are a variety of things. And actually those strategic points, again, I think miss something too. I personally think you need to focus on the sea rise and the
Yes.
which isn't in there. But and that's really important right now because we're focusing on that in a variety of places, including the surf level. So I think there are, I think it's a good point.
I'll make one more point, then I'm going to go quiet. This is not my meeting. You might recall the town went through an elaborate strategic planning process using the public with a lot of public input. Process started 24 months ago and ended up 12 months ago. And we asked the public, what do you want for the future of Madison? And one of the overriding points that came out was maintain the character of the town. That's what the public wants from its government and its planning and zoning apparatus, of which this committee is part. Now, defining the phrase maintaining the character of the town, the selectmen are looking to you and your collective wisdom to develop a strategic foundation of what does that mean from a conservation commission's point of view. Tree Advisory Committee eventually came up with what they think it means from a tree point of view. And there are lots of other groups involved which are trying to answer the same question. You might ask yourselves what attracted you to Madison when you made that decision. And we had already one speech tonight, and it was the natural beauty of the town. And so what you are a microcosm of the 18,000 residents of the town. You can't speak for all 18,000, but this is a collective group. And as far as the selectmen are concerned, you are a microcosm. You are a focus group of 18,000 citizens, distilled down to seven members of the commission. And so your opinion is important as to what do we need to do to maintain the character of the town. we realize there'll be lots of people out there that don't agree or that think other points are more important. But, this town meeting form of government, this is the body that is to define how do we maintain the character of the town in terms of natural elements or whatever the phrase is in your charge. I think I'm now going to go quiet so that you can have your discussion.
Can I, make a couple points or proposals? I think that all sounds great. What I would like to see happen, because I feel like, like we lose a month at a time.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to propose, I can take a stab at writing this
Yep.
philosophical
And send it out to everybody, yes.
share it with everyone, and maybe simultaneously we reach out to Carol
Yep.
about setting up an appointment
Mhm.
before, because we'll meet at the end of June, like try to get her before
Yes.
4th of July,
Yes.
and then we can talk. We'll have drafts to talk to in the next meeting, but then are ready to roll.
I like that,
Okay.
very much so.
And I would suggest tying into the tree committee is what Fran done.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and
Work.
Okay.
You might need to invite Carol soon. What it could be.
yeah,
Okay.
so will you talk with Karen?
I will.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm writing
So
down.
I've got a question though. Maybe, sure I apologize. Said, was it a study? What was it that people came up with this maintain character of the town?
Is that the P O C D?
No, it's the strategic plan.
Yeah.
And then there's the POC, and then the plan of conservation and development also.
It was a series of public information sessions. It was an online survey. I don't remember the numbers of people that actually participated.
I sat in one room, I sat over,
Well,
I sat over with about 30 people, one for one.
This was the collective wisdom of the people who participated.
Right.
And they were asked, what do you want for the future of the town? And there were 8 or 10 items produced, but this was near the top. This is one of the things that led to the creation of the tree committee, because people were really upset about the lack of regulatory authority over the trees in the town. And we seem to love our trees, except when the wind's blowing, then we don't like them so much. Most of the time, we really love our trees. They're part of the character of the town. And so that's an example, but this commission's jurisdiction is broader than trees. And we also love our lakes and our streams and our natural features and all of those kinds of things. And
And I'm actually at the moment forwarding a link to the strategic plan to everybody.
Where I was
Will
going
you
with that
make-
is,
Will you
they make a
be,
broad statement, maintain the character of the town. It would
that was
beg
the
the question,
consultant- that was the consultant's summary
if I'm not still on the agenda?
Yes, we do.
of the hundreds of comments. They were all,
yeah, what does that mean?
What you consider the character to be very different than what I consider the character.
Mean all our people places,
Yep.
for silvers, I mean,
Yeah,
So
okay.
will you meet with Carol, or are we planning to meet with
I
Carol?
think I will have an initial meeting with her and I will invite her to the June meeting.
Oh, perfect. And should we be, should we now move on to the?
I will invite you, yes.
June?
Okay, so, just studying the strategic plan.
Check out the P O C D,
Okay,
the plan of conservation.
Right.
A lot of good bullets in there about
So,
environmental conservation,
Yeah.
preservation.
so the next thing on the agenda was our May 5th special meeting, which we do not have minutes for yet, but that was the follow-up to
farm meeting, yeah.
our strong debate. Which was why Alice here tonight, one of them. So we just the four of us that were available to meet discussed the follow-up letters.
Did we ever send them?
I think I did. I'll have to go back and look. But it was the ongoing level of frustration with yes, as you said, things are siloed. We need to build bridges. One of the things that we did discuss, which I will send back to the Board of Selectmen in terms of siloing, is that we feel we really need to have at least one meeting a year of all of the commissions. It's just 10 or 15 years ago, there was one. And I'm the planning and zoning people and the land use people and the wetlands people and the flood and erosion people, we all sat in a room and said, oh, that's what you do? Oh, that's really cool. We should probably talk about that.
I can refine that idea. Maybe there should be a joint meeting of all the land use.
Yes. Yes, and that's,
I'm sorry.
that was, I didn't mean I wanted to pull in economic development.
Oh, okay.
Part of that equation.
No,
I did actually mean the land use, all the land use commissions, although having economic development there wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, yeah, that would be.
Or
one thing.
ACA, or, everybody that's doing planning or, regulation around the character of the town, we probably should.
Well,
Talk to each other.
while you're chatting with Carol Snow.
Yeah,
About this.
yes.
I would say,
Yeah, and I have actually already mentioned it to Samantha Polaro, who's on the flood, whatever they're calling the new flood and erosion board, is a new name for it. She's like, I would love that.
I think that's a fine idea.
Um,
And just to take sort of the friction out of it, maybe the selectmen should convene that meeting
That would be lovely.
as opposed to
Yes,
putting someone else in the hot seat.
Yeah,
that would, I think that it would be really valuable for, even if we don't need every member of every commission every year, but at least once a year, a couple members of each commission getting in a room and talking to each other. Quarterly would be optimistic, but a minimum of once a year. But
I
you really
request
have.
a 3-sentence email
Okay.
to me
Okay,
from whoever you delegate
okay,
suitable for passing on to other selectmen.
okay, I can do that.
One of the main points also that Conservation Commission was not consulted.
Yes.
Yeah.
right, and what is,
Right, and we also, our other point, which was in the follow-up letter, which you have to make sure I actually mailed, was that the capital improvement project, planning, process, none of that is ever, nobody has ever asked if there's any sort of.
Peggy has now added the chairman of this group to the distribution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
I have not seen anything from it yet, so that's probably why I don't realize
it begins
that.
to meet in the fall.
It meets in the fall, okay, excellent.
The town's fiscal year is July 1st, and budgeting process begins about 7 or 8 months before that.
Mhm.
So the capital, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no,
The town has two budgets. One is the operating budget and the other is the capital budget. How much money do we need to put away starting today for known expenses in the future, whether they're 3 years from now or 5 years from now? I'll pick a simple example to make my point. When we buy a fire engine,
it's depreciated.
we estimate it will last 20 years.
Mhm.
So every year we put away
Wait.
1/20th of what we think
it
a
will
fire
cost.
is going to cost 20 years from now.
Well, let's
So if we get to year 20, it's not a big argument about whether or not a new fire engine is needed.
Mhm.
Guilford has those, that
Yes.
argument, but Madison doesn't.
For big upcoming projects like the Surf Club, don't you think Conservation Commission, along with several other committees and commissions, should be part of that discussion, not just Beach and Rec?
Well, the first public hearing on the surf club, I think is coming up in a week or two. And I don't know that it's been announced yet, but the selectmen last night were presented with some extremely preliminary plans about surf club. And it does involve trees. And it involves all kinds of things. And I think this committee, I want to make sure you get the announcements. And whether you are in person or see it online. There's already been several public information sessions regarding Surf Club. Maybe some of you participated. Now the consultant has pulled that together and has come up with a first draft plan. And I think you as individual citizens should comment on it as well as formally this body.
So is the draft out there? Can we get a sneak peek at it?
You know, I mean, this morning it wasn't online. Yeah. It was presented in public last night.
Before I understand it, two friends of mine, is that it was, there was nothing financial, right? So it's just a plan. So it's
That's correct.
yeah.
Nothing's been priced out.
Well, like, wasn't that a key component? Like, how much do they want to spend on?
Well, it's a chicken and egg problem. You
No,
can't
I
price
know,
out
I
something
know.
until you know what it is you're
Yeah.
pricing out. And things are very fluid right now. I know folks tend to get focused on the building itself. The building is only part of a number of moving parts on this plan.
Yeah.
And so I think this committee should take formal notice of it as a committee, and I think as individual citizens will want to take notice of it. Well, I'll stop there.
Okay.
That's great to know.
Not that it will have any impact on what the town does, but already, I didn't see the meeting last night, but already Facebook, Madison, CT is on fire of voting. So there's a lot of discussion, usually the same people, but there's a lot of good points in there too. And eventually that meeting will be on YouTube. All the town meetings are recorded, probably this one too.
Yeah.
Will be on YouTube. So, but it's hard to, when you put in a search on YouTube, because the formatting for identifying which of the meetings is not always consistent. Sometimes hard to find.
You can actually also
But it
see
is,
them
but
on
it is.
public access still.
But there's a public hearing too. Sounds like you said. Okay, next one.
It's coming up, maybe June 10th, something like
A
that.
couple of weeks.
I don't want to. It's a public information
Public
session,
information. So
just a chance for the
just
consultants to
gives you
say,
an opportunity to actually see what they're thinking. Yeah.
What role do these, I've heard several times consultants, what role do these consultants play? Anyone? It's a general question. I mean, do we always rely on consultants? I mean,
well, for a major project like this involves so many moving parts. Yes, we don't maintain full-time staff once every 40-year project. And we hire outside specialized expertise. And these, again, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but the erosion, the loss of sand at the place is a key part of this.
Education outreach initiative for the summer.
And
That's
consultant needs very specialized expertise to give us advice on what to do about sustaining, stabilizing. That's a key part of all this. It's not just the building. I've learned in town that when people use the word surf club, half of us are talking about the entire complex, and the other half are talking about the white building. And get into some really stupid arguments about different things.
Yeah.
And so this is a master plan for the entire property, not just the white building.
No, was every parking lot and the whole, everything.
The whole thing.
because the whole thing will be underwater in 50 years if the Antarctica sheet
Well, then it doesn't
eventually
really
collapse. Yes.
matter.
But, okay, so,
Doesn't matter.
I'm putting that on my, watch list
Yeah.
for.
We all should.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you think it's June 10th?
No,
And the plan might be.
That'd be more fun.
But yeah,
Yeah, this is just sort of a progress report for the consultant to say, we had 3 or 4 prior information sessions, and this is what we've heard the public say. And we started doodle and put together some schematics, and this is what we've heard so far.
And
I
the
imagine-
plan might be posted on the town website
Oh,
before
yeah,
it's
it's
published.
a public document, and presented last night. If I was more clever, I'd know how to get it out of my phone. It's in.
Well, if don't, it's fine. Yeah. Well, we'll shoot your host. We need to move on because we're running a much, I knew it was gonna be a full agenda, but yeah, I didn't expect some of these to take like this long. We've met one of our two new interns, for the summer. Caroline, having listened to some of this interesting discussion, would you like to, discuss what has been appealing to you and then we can start throwing around some ideas for, work on this.
Definitely the coastal resources is my main interest.
Mhm.
I really want to help beaches and cleaning up and stuff like that. Get people educated on sea level rising and the sand dunes, things like that. I know we talked about maybe putting up signs by the dunes, just people so they don't walk all over them.
Saturday stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that they have that in other beaches. I don't know why.
Thank goodness there's a lot of courses.
I was gonna say, I told Caroline this, which was we've gotta get ropes up. I'm standing on the surf club beach with a class of second graders, explaining to them how important dune grass is and why you have to stay off the dunes, to protect the grass, to protect the beach. And one of the plein air painters walks up the beach, up the boardwalk, and up onto the top of the dune, sets up her easel and starts painting.
No.
And I'm like, I can't.
Oh.
So I started talking louder to see if I could get her attention. I don't think,
No.
but so yes.
Sometimes you
So
just have to
I
be-
think that, so one of the couple of things I proposed are putting, fencing. So I think what you and I need to do, send me your work schedule for the coming week and I will try and set up a meeting with you and maybe Amy, with Austin Hall, who's our beach director. Because he would be the person that would be saying, yes, I would love some signs right here. Yes, we can, last year he offered me, rope and posts to do the fence on the same dude, and it all fell apart. So this year I'm like, I really want to do that this year. I really want to do that. And then, just some general information about, why does the beach look so different this year? Huh, funny you should ask. And then if I can I'm trying to figure out, I was down at the surf club at dead low tide, just for an informational thing. It's like people are like, oh, the beach has always been here, right? No. Dead low tide, there's actually right in front of the building now, you can see the ancient tree roots of what used to be the upland. That everything is grown over and it's now exposed at low tide. I have a piece, I want to get it carbon dated. Trying to figure out how. Just so some people, because, people are like, oh, well, the beach is here, it's always here. No, it's not. So I think that sounds like a good way to start.
Yeah, I'll just send you my.
Send me my work, send me our work schedule. And I'll get you and me on. Any other ideas that, in terms of coastal resources that we should be working on, which, we should probably, you and I should probably also take a tour of some of the other town properties that are on the shoreline. Yeah.
Aren't invasives now?
Oh, that is true. One of the projects that I would be it would be a coastal resource and education. At the corner of the parking lot at the surf club, there is multiflora rose, bittersweet, mugwort, and something else. So like all of the major invasives are all in this one corner. So I would like to do a really visible reclamation project, but I have to get Boston's permission. And I'm not sure if it's when, and I'm gonna have to decide if we actually are gonna have to get a coastal permit for that or not.
Then there's Bower Park.
And then there's Bower Park. But, so, okay. I want to keep it split. So the last thing we have on the agenda is the 4th of July parade. I'm filing the application. I still have our banners that were on the truck last year. I still have our globe. Are we getting new t-shirts? Are we emphasizing the 20th anniversary? in my mind, have been sort of going, I'd love to invite all of the old commission members to see if they'd like to march with us. But I know at least half a dozen of them are dead. But there are at least half a dozen of them still in town. I think that would be kind of fun.
We could kick around an idea, maybe through email, if we're running
Yes.
out of time, but maybe getting one or two more banners made.
Yes.
To take through the parade. We won't do balloons this year. Except for the big one. Except for the big one.
The big one is gonna be
Our
top down.
big useful one.
Yes, our big reusable one.
And we need to talk to Holly, Francis, because she knows the guy who
So
runs the parade.
So maybe we can get us farther in front.
Your last year.
Oh,
We were.
who was,
We were almost last.
Yeah, we weren't
The
very
orange,
loud.
the orange barn wasn't bad.
The orange barn was live.
so, who's talking to whom?
I'm going to talk to, I'm putting in the application, but I'm
Yes.
going to talk to a friend of ours from church who knows the person who puts the parade
Oh,
together.
yeah, Francis.
Holly.
That's how you say.
With an IS.
Does anybody have a theme other than it's our 20th year of preserving the Madison's natural resources? Last year was everything is connected. And the puzzle theme.
We'll think about it, like,
Well, because our next meeting is a week before the 4th of parade.
Yeah.
So we need to think about
we
it
have
fast.
we have to
We
do
brainstormed
it
before
on
then.
email.
Yes,
Last year we did have a special meeting.
we did have a special meeting so that we could take
Yeah.
banners and stuff.
We have to remake the stand, right? For the,
It's going to go on the Prius this year, so.
do you, how are we
So I'm going,
put it
I'm
on?
going to have to work on that, but the Prius is home now, so I can start figuring that out.
Okay, so we'll figure it out. All right.
But we all,
And then we have to think about t-shirts.
yes.
Yes?
Yeah, is there any objection
We
to
use the same ones.
doing the same?
Yeah, we can use the same ones. I
I
can order some, I can see how many previous members want to march with us and I will get them t-shirts.
Oh, do we have any left?
No, that was the last one.
Okay.
But a bit more.
No, I have, I have.
Everybody else hopefully has
I
theirs.
still have it.
But
This one just swearing, this one just swearing, same one.
And you might meet all the other interns that way. They all marched last year.
okay.
Okay,
It's also good for what it's worth,
well,
just promotion.
yes,
I
exactly.
mean, the other day I was at the Ashley Ice Cream. I had one of my Jimmy Fund shirts on. Struck up a conversation with people inquiring what that was.
Yeah, I have worn mine around town and I've been, that's really cool, or yes. So, yeah. So,
This Strawberry Moon Festival on June 27th.
well,
There will be an area for booths, which are mostly going to be occupied by not-for-profit agencies.
that would be lovely.
But,
We should probably put them there.
I'm going to ask if you wanted to, the commission wanted to have a table.
Yes.
Yes.
An educational
Yes. Okay.
Let me just remind you, it's June 27th.
Yeah.
It's an all-day event at the Surf Club. Well, I'll say all day. I think it begins at noon or 1 o'clock.
And it's going
It's going to be a series of bands, food trucks, games.
My son, and he's headlining it.
Oh,
And I think if the commission is interested,
Yeah, he's the headline.
we could have a table
Musician.
with
Yes.
the other not-for-profit groups.
where
Yeah.
we talk to the 200 club, the 200.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
not quite sure who's coordinating it. Roz Kama is
Isn't Ryan?
Brian Duquesne, either of them, yeah.
Okay.
This is the logo, you've probably seen it around town. It's up on the light
can't-
pole now downtown.
Oh, is this?
Pass it around,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah, the beach pass this year, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely, yeah.
What does it have on it?
Yeah, fireworks and a sailboat and the full moon rising.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it goes on the outside of your windshield.
Yes, from before to beyond, yes, that's right.
Took me 10 minutes to figure that out, by the way.
On the outside?
Well, they always went on the inside. I was like, I was walking
Then
inside.
when you're on the side and then
Yeah.
on the side.
There you go.
Okay, we will, yeah, so, yeah, so I will
Okay.
actually, let's see.
Who?
I had
who do
one
we-
contact with them, and they
Yeah.
met tonight, didn't they?
At 5 o'clock.
Yes.
It's been a long evening.
Yeah. Okay, we will send you home happy, have a cookies. They're health food.
Oh,
Yeah,
Talk about a special meeting.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we
so the
should
12th.
probably do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and before
Yeah.
the 27th.
Thanks.
So
So our.
pretty sooner rather than later.
Yes, our next meeting is scheduled for the 24th, so
Yeah.
we would go with, maybe something like the 10th?
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night work for
Yeah.
people?
So it's a week from, 2 weeks from.
2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Yeah.
We wait.
That's the night of the surf club public
Yeah.
hearing.
Oh,
Oh,
6 o'clock.
it is definitely that night?
It's not definite. That's what
Okay.
we're working. 6 o'clock at the senior center. And maybe
Okay.
this group could meet at
At
7:30.
7:30 over here, yeah,
Yeah.
or we might push it to 8 o'clock, depending on how long they. Yeah, they shouldn't
I'm
think,
sure you get out of there.
Yeah,
in 60,
okay.
90 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I like that, we can do it too for, okay. 2 weeks,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
June
okay.
10,
Oh, no, I can't.
7:30.
Special. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Thank you.
that's more.
Right.
So, I will now, I think unless there's something that I've missed anywhere, I will take our motion to adjourn. Okay, let's do it in a second. Yeah, John is seconding. All in favor, yeah, heck up. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Al.
So.